Hello and welcome to Bear Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's Bledisloe Cup Second Clash preview, All Blacks hosting the Wallabies, and the All Blacks having done a lot of rotation for this weekend. It's basically a dead rugby game in their eyes, I suppose, for both teams. The Rugby Championship is finished. The Bledisloe Cup has been retained. So now it is all eyes on the World Cup. There is no doubt about that. There's nothing at stake in this match. It is a glorified friendly. And as a result, the All Blacks have retained quite a lot. They can afford to retain quite a lot, whereas the Wallabies are sort of giving more sort of game time into. I think players who Eddie Jones genuinely sees as to be very important to the potential success of their World Cup campaign. So there are a couple of changes, a couple of them injury enforced, given the fact that they lost two tight heads last weekend. But it's interesting to see some of the continuity in certain selection as well. Before we look at the two teams, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We'll start with the home side, which are the All Blacks. Plenty of changes. One of them in the captaincy, Sam Cane, does return from injury after he looked in pretty good form, actually, must be said. I was very impressed with what I saw from him in that first game against Argentina. And he was under a lot of pressure about a year ago when it came to sort of, first of all, being the captain, being in the side, because his form wasn't quite there. But I thought he looked much better, much more like himself in that first game against Argentina in the Rugby Championship. Was very unlucky to sort of just get that injury and miss the rest of the Rugby Championship. But let's go through it, shall we? So Tamati Williams, who made his debut against the Springboks, will get his first ever start in his second game. He starts there loose. Samasoni Takawao also comes into the starting lineup in his first start of the year, and they will partner Nepo Leolala, who also gets his first start of the year. So it's a brand new front row. Brody Retallick, Sam Whitelock, the age-old All Blacks lock pairing do return. Scott Barrett, in fact, all the Barretts have been given the weekend off to play a bit of golf and recover. And Scott Barrett, for me, one of the most informed players in the world right now, I think has pretty much booked his spot in that starting lineup. But what an absolute pleasure to have three such high-quality locks at your disposal. In the loose chair, there is two changes. First of all, as we said, Sam Cane does return, and Shannon Frizzell drops out of the 23. Sammy Penny Finau comes in at number 6, an opportunity for him to show exactly what he's all about. A bit of a new look loose chair there with those two coming in, and Artie Sevilla keeping his spot. It's a brand new halfback pairing. Finley Christie will partner Damian McKenzie and D Mac, who did not feature in the Rugby Championship after that Argentinian game, is back and has an opportunity to sort of try and continue to impress and make his way back into sort of the final All Blacks 23. And it's basically a brand new backline if we look at it, to be honest. The two wings, Stefan Ganuko, we haven't seen him so far, and Sean Stevenson coming in. So they've got opportunities on the wings. It's a brand new centre pairing of Antonina Brown and Braden Inner. And then Will Jordan shifts from 14 to full back, the position where I think a lot of New Zealand fans, and even rugby fans in general, just all kind of agree that is where he's best at. Off the bench, it is Dane Coles, Alpha Tuangavasi, and Fletcher Newell. In the front row, Tupo Vai, Luke Jacobson will cover the rest of the scrum. Aaron Smith will be playing his final game in New Zealand off the bench. Richie Moanga, Daz McLeod will provide additional backline cover. Then we look at the Australians and a bit of continuity. Very interesting choice of captain with Tate McDermott taking over the armband for this weekend. As a result, it was Alan Alatua. He was ruled out of the World Cup as well after he left the field last week. So heartbreaking moment for him. But as a result, we're going to have a look at two new tight heads this weekend. So if you look at the front row, it is Angus Bell, David Parecki, and then Pono Faimosila comes into the lineup, and very big opportunity for both the tight heads in this 23. But interesting to see how this sort of continues to develop, because Angus Bell was tremendous last weekend. James Slipper is one of the Wallabies co-captains, so you kind of expect him to be starting most games, and yet I thought Angus Bell was absolutely terrific, and it was quite a nice dynamic to have him starting, James Slipper coming off the bench. It's a new lock pairing. Nick Frost has Richie Arnold company this weekend, so Eddie Jones really rotating those three locks in and amongst that starting and the bench. Will Skelton getting the weekend off in terms of starting. I thought he actually looked a lot better last weekend, did Will Skelton. It's a very interesting loose chair as well. Tom Hooper swaps the 7 for the 6 jersey to make way for Fraser McWright, who will join Tom Hooper and Rob Valentini in the loose chair for this weekend. Tate McDermott will continue his partnership with Carter Gordon, who Eddie Jones has fiercely defended despite struggling a little bit last weekend. The wings of Marikai Corbeti, Mark Nawangani Tawase do continue, as do the centre pairing of Samu Karevi, Jordan Bataya, and Kellaway, who I thought was pretty good last weekend, does continue in the 15. Off the bench, Jordan Ulese, James Slipper, and Zan Nongo, who is getting his opportunity this weekend. Will Skelton, Rob Liotta, then Nick White, Craig Cooper, and Isaiah Perezi. So a pretty unchanged bench, apart from Will Skelton dropping down to the bench and Non-Gore coming into it as well. I think the big thing I think is for Eddie Jones is to look at that New Zealand side and say, right, it is a rotated New Zealand side. It's a quality New Zealand side. There's no doubt about it. But it is a rotated New Zealand side. We've got to go and do something. We've got to go give them a bit of scare. We've got to go try and maybe upset them and start proving to themselves as a team that they can be competitive against the best teams in the world. And they really need a positive result this weekend. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.